So guys, in today's video, we're going to be putting crappie brakes on the back of my boat. I'm going to try to go through this step by step so you can do this on your boat. So stick with us and hope you enjoy the video. So we purchased some bracket mounts for the back of my boat, and I've got my wire in and I've got my switches. So today my plans are to get the stomp switches up front installed, to get all the wires back here. My breakers and stuff hadn't came in yet, and I've got to mount my brackets on the back to put the trolling motors on. So that stuff is supposed to come today. So this will be a multi-day video, but I think you could probably do this install in about 4 hours. So guys, the first thing we got to figure out is actually where are we going to put our trolling motors. Now my transom is made different from any other boats, so you've got to determine where you can actually put the trolling motor or actually mount it. So I can't mount mine on the back of the transom because there's not enough room because my boat motor hits. That's the first thing you need to determine. So what I'm going to do, and I'll use this to demonstrate, I've got some flat trolling motor brackets coming that is going to sit basically here or either here. I hadn't determined that yet. And so this trolling motor will actually sit here to the outside. Now this trolling motor is a 30 pound, it's an Enduro 30 pound thrust trolling motor, and it has a 30-inch shaft. And I think that's going to be plenty long enough. So if you have a tall transom, you need to determine that whether you need a 42-inch shaft or you need a 30-inch shaft. One of the other things that I need, and I needed some 8-gauge wire, and I have a long run, you know, about 17, 18 feet to get to the front of the boat to come back here to get to my batteries. One of the first things that I need to do is I need to get all this wire, well, at least 2 runs of this wire, up to the front of the boat and back here to my batteries and to the trolling motor here. When you do this, leave yourself plenty of extra line, because sometimes you just need that extra, especially when you're following a contour of a boat. So this is a C-choice switch. You can use any kind of switch you want to. I just chose the C-choice switch. You can find them on Amazon. I'll have the link below where you can find that, plus find this wire. This is a marine gauge 8-gauge wire, and I'm sorry. So this is a marine gauge. This is a marine gauge 10-gauge wire. So it's a 2-wire system. So my plans, instead of having separate wires, to run one from the positive on the battery, this side, up to the switch, back out the switch on that negative side, which will still be positive, and then back to the trolling motor. That's what my plans are. And by having this coating on these wires, it keeps it a little bit neater. That's just what I'm going to do. The next thing we need to determine is where these switches are going to sit on the boat. Everybody's different. Everybody's going to have a different setup. So it's up to you where you're going to put them. Now myself, sometimes I fish with other people on the front of the boat. And if you'll notice here, sometimes I put my seat here to this side, Sometimes I set to the center. So I want the ability to be able to move these right to left. So I'm going to mount them side by side. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut me a piece of plywood about 8 by 6 or something. That way I can screw these to the board, and I can move these. I can move these anywhere that I want to move. Okay, so I've been working a couple of hours getting these two lines ran to the back of the boat. So let me show you what I've done so far. Remember I told you I was going to put the stomp switches on a block. Well, here's the block. This is 8 by 6. I have them close enough that I can put my foot on both of them at the same time, activate them both at the same time, or I can do the port and the starboard one. Luckily, when they sent it to me, these wires on this one was white and these were black, so that's pretty easy when I get back to the back of the boat that I can keep up with which one is which. But I'm going to try this block. It may not work. What I can do is I can put some Velcro strips on the bottom if I need to, but I like it because I can move it. I can move it here. If I'm set in the center, I can move it back to here, put it right beside of my foot control trolling motor. So I like that aspect, and I can shorten it up and stick it right up here real close. Now I did have to drill a 3/4 inch hole here to get my wires through, and I put a wire cover on top of it, but I'm going to order a stopper to go in there that will protect it a little bit more. Right now that'll do it till I can get it and test it and get everything ordered. So coming back here to the rod box, I ran these wires in the rod box, and what I did, this red pipe here is just a water pipe that I had left over. I had left over from doing my plumbing on my house, and it runs all the way up to the bow of the boat and all the way back, and I had to turn it, go under the seat to go to the back to the wires. And one of the reasons I did that, I didn't want those two wires floating around down there in the rod box and hanging rod tips, so I just put them in that pipe. And just a little tip, get you some dish detergent, soap it up really good, and it slid right on in there. So we're back to the back here. There's my two wires. One with the black wire, one with the black tape is my starboard side. This will be my port side. And there's my two wires right there. Right now I'm at a standstill till I get my brackets, and my quick connects to the trolling motors are coming on the same order. So hopefully they'll be here this afternoon. All right guys, day 2. We got our mounts on yesterday afternoon late. If you notice, I decided to put these mounts on. These are mounts that go on a kayak or canoe or something like that. Just gives me a nice block to bolt the trolling motor to. And of course I just bolted it right through from underneath the bottom to secure it. So we're going to get these trolling motors mounted on here now. If you noticed, where I had to mount it is on a little bit of an angle. So what I decided to do compensate for that, I just offset this from this side. You're really talking about, you're really only talking about 1/2 of an inch, maybe. You can see where it sits, the bottom of the boat. Boom, right off each edge. So let me show you this. I decided to put a quick connect on the rear, just so I could disconnect it really quickly. So this is my disconnect. Comes loose pretty quickly. So I got the power source going out to the trolling motor switch up front. Then the switch comes back into this positive on this side, positive to the trolling motor, negative out to the battery, and of course the negative side to the trolling motor. So let's give it a test. Well, it worked. I will say that those C-choice switches, it don't take much to touch them and make them go off. Now right now, so if you take a look, that's a lot sticking out on the top. My plans probably are going to be that I'm going to take this head off. And so I'll need to put me a little elbow up here to catch these wires coming in. And that's more than likely what I am going to do. But right now, just to test it, I'm going to carry it to the lake, leave this arm on here to see how it does. So let's get the other one hooked up. All right, guys, we're getting ready. So guys, we're right at the end. We've got all our plugs in. You can see this trolling motor here is, let me show it to you. This one is actually deployed right here. And this one on this side is actually how I will travel with it up the lake. And again, I may take the heads off, not 100% sure for right now. I'm going to leave them on. Just going to leave them on. Real quickly, I'll show you the plugs. So here in the back, I have I got a 24-volt trolling motor battery. So I've got the right side here to this one battery, the left side to this battery, and if I can hold this GoPro, so this is my quick connect here, coming to the battery, going up front. So if I want to remove the trolling motor, just as simple as that. You can see the trolling motor is separated. I can take this trolling motor off anytime I get ready. So guys, I hope you've seen something in the video that'll help you. I've been putting this off for probably 2 years of doing it, finally decided to do it. So just a couple of notes. I found, you can check Facebook Marketplace. I found one brand new trolling motor, never been used. Got it at a better deal. Got the other one at Academy Sports. I think it was $139, and the other one was $100. So sometimes you can find deals on them. I tried to stay away from a used one. I didn't know how it would be abused. I definitely like the quick connects where I can take these off if I need to or I decide to. That just makes things a little more convenient. Guys, I hope you've seen some of the video that helped you. Hope you've seen something in the video that you learned. You remember, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Don't forget to hit the like button and click that notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Wildlife Adventures. And as always, you remember, it's a wild life, and I'll see you on the water.